Why you want to record me?
Because your entire staff has been calling me sir.
Okay. You're the one handing the credit card,
but
correct?
look at me.
Okay, you're the
right?
one. Okay, I can look at you.
What about me is presenting what you would call masculine right now? If you didn't see the name on my credit card and you were quickly handing me my card back, would you have said something?
What would you like me to do, man? What are you? So I can call you. What are you?
No.
What are you?
Why does it matter?
No. What are you?
Why does it matter?
What are you?
Why does it matter?
Oh, it doesn't matter to you. But to me, I'm a male. Okay?
Okay.
So, what are you? So I can call you sir or ma'am. What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
I assume that you're a man. Okay?
You know, if you have to ask, you might not like the answer to the question. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Zukardowski here of wearechange.org, and oh boy, is there a lot of absolutely really crazy news to get into today, as it seems like a lot of people are just losing it. As, of course, there are some major developments in Europe as major nuclear power plants are being deliberately shut off. There is a bigger agenda behind all of this, as we had yet another major bombshell by Elon Musk, one of the highest paying taxpayers in all of American history, today on Tax Day, which we're also going to give you some very interesting data points and stats about all of that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by @clownworld_ on Twitter. Truly, I can't shout these guys enough. I really appreciate their work. They do really cool stuff. And some of the videos that they highlight, that they talk about and share are definitely noteworthy, to say the least. And their algorithm is one of the best out there. So don't forget, check out @clownworld_ on Twitter, since I definitely think they do deserve a lot more followers than they have right now. They have a lot, but they could have a lot more. All of this, as one of the biggest news stories today, is that the United States Department of Justice, I don't know if they can still call themselves that, has just announced that they will be launching a press conference announcing the arrest and charges pending what is most likely going to be the Pentagon U.S. whistleblower that leaked government documents highlighting how the U.S. government has been lying to its citizenry about not only their involvement, but the current status of the larger proxy war between the East and the West in Ukraine right now. And as the DOJ heavily punishes activists if they believe in a certain political ideology, freedom lovers, journalists, or whistleblowers, we have to understand that all of this is happening as we are undergoing tremendous urban decay in major democratic big city areas all throughout the United States. All of this as Republican representatives are having hearings specifically about this issue, highlighting many innocent human beings who have been caught up, arrested, and prosecuted for the simple act of even self-defense. All of this is, of course, happening as the weaponization of the justice system continues to escalate in the United States, while the U.S. government keeps grabbing more and more unaccountable power and authority for themselves, including the power to, of course, go through your DMs. Yes, the U.S. government, with your tax dollars, slid in to your DMs, and they saw everything. Every photo, every message. This, according to the latest bombshell from Elon Musk, that just said this during an interview with Tucker Carlson that will be airing later on tonight.
The degree to which various government agencies had effectively had full access to everything that was going on Twitter blew my mind. I was not aware of that.
Would that include people's DMs?
Yes.
So you know that girl's DMs that you slid into and now have a relationship with? Well, technically it's also a three-way now with the U.S. government, as this is important bombshell information of Elon Musk specifically saying that the U.S. government had, quote, full access. This should be the media controversy of the year, if not the decade, to have people's personal liberty, personal privacy, personal own private moments violated by the U.S. government using their own money, treating them as if they were an insecure boyfriend or girlfriend, is absolutely fully disgusting. A couple years ago, there was a big outrage because Saudi Arabia had access to some of the DMs and they were going after activists, which is probably what the U.S. government is doing here domestically right now, but that was a big deal. But now the U.S. government had access to all of it, not just the activists that, of course, they're targeting. And in my opinion, absolutely, this story deserves a lot more attention that it's getting. And it's being significantly underplayed, I think, for very obvious reasons, with clear ties to the corporate media, to larger institutions that are just absolutely screwing you over. And in related news of poor people being screwed over and more poor people being created, Germany has just shut down 3 of their last nuclear power plants. Yes, just over this weekend, Germany shut down all nuclear power in its country. Now, why are they doing this? As of course, nuclear energy is sustainable energy. It's some of the cheapest energy out there. It's one of the least polluting of energies, one of the most cleanest energies out there. All of this during a big geopolitical conflict with their major gas and oil supplier, Russia? What does this even make sense? As of course, it's also important to note here that Europe was extremely lucky this winter, as of course they had a very light winter. Energy prices have been going up dramatically in Europe because of the conflict in Ukraine, because of the sanctions, because of someone blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, and to add insult to injury to some of the poorest people in the world that of course will have to now spend more on energy, more on goods, more on transportation during peak inflation, when of course money supplies are being just absolutely inflated, is just one of the worst backhanded attacks against some of the people who are suffering the most in that country. Now, officially, they're doing this in order to help the environment. And again, this absolutely is just face value, an absolute lie. As of course, Germany probably will now be importing nuclear power from France. That of course is doubling down and increasing the amount of nuclear power plants that they have in their country. As of course, Germany's power grid is already in very bad shape. Now, with very little sunlight, very little wind, all the renewable energy that Germany has invested in right now isn't really going to be helping. Why are they deliberately destroying their country from the inside? I think is a big question that a lot of people in the Western world should be asking about themselves and their own government. As of course, the next thing that they're going after is rice. Yes, you heard that correctly. Rice is now the latest target of assault by the globalist World Economic Forum internationalist club that, of course, is telling you how you will own nothing, have no privacy, but somehow be happier than ever. And if you're interested in being happier than ever, you should definitely check out LukeUnfiltered.com, our own members area, where, of course, we not only provide you with a new video almost every single day, specifically about topics that we cannot discuss here on this platform, but you also get 3 masterclasses, access to a community, commentary and goofs that are too spicy for here, a really awesome forum, and of course, in real life meetups that just happened a few days ago here in Austin, Texas. I decided, because of last minute changes and security details, and of course my very tough work schedule here, that I could only do a meetup on a Thursday, 3:30 p.m. And of course, nearly 50 people showed up on a work day, 3:30 p.m. in Austin, Texas, which was absolutely incredible. I met a lot of the members of LukeUncensored.com, and they're really top of the line, some of the smartest, some of the most awesome, some of the most humorous beings that I had the pleasure of meeting, and it was awesome getting to know the fellow members of LukeUncensored.com. The people that came there were like, hey, let's just start an Austin group, or let's have meetups every week or every month. Let's see how we could help each other out, as they were building a little community that, of course, was spurred on with just this little meetup. It was absolutely incredible. I'm going to be doing another members-only meetup with top-tier, amazing human beings in Miami in just a few days from now. To find out about that, to be a part of that, and get all these other amazing offers of value, sign up right now on LukeUnfiltered.com, and I will see you there right after this broadcast, as we just posted the photos of the meetup on our forum. And truly, it's absolutely an incredible privilege to be facilitating so many incredible human beings. Again, almost 50 people on a Thursday, 3:30 p.m. There's a lot of people that are members, a lot of really cool people. Get to know them and be a part of a larger community all just by simply signing up to lukeunfiltered.com, and I will see you there right after this video. As of course, it's also important to note that today is also Theft Day. What is Theft Day? That usually is 2 days before now. Well, it's the price you pay to live in an extremely uncivilized society that punishes you for being a critical thinker and not going along with the Matrix-like propaganda that, of course, is really meant to enslave you. This, as of course, the Babylon Bee just released a very good article highlighting our tax problem here in the United States, featuring one of the most taxed, regulated, and controlled jurisdictions on the planet. And that, of course, is San Francisco, California, that has some of the highest tax rates in the world. And with the highest taxes, you, of course, get a lot of government. What happens when you have a lot of government? Well, of course, you have a lot of problems, as featured by this article titled, "Newlyweds in San Francisco Looking for Nice One-Bedroom, Zero-Bath Starter Tent." This, as the Daily Mail is describing, that San Francisco is, quote, in the grip of an apocalyptic death loop, with a lot of people working from home, some being too afraid to even go to San Francisco, while drugs and homelessness, of course, all are becoming well too apparent on the streets of one of the richest areas per capita in almost all of the United States. And again, the videos that people show and highlight of everyday life in San Francisco, paying some of the highest rents, mainly because of government taxes and regulations, highlights the larger problem when a government gets too big and unaccountable. How does a government get too big? Well, it collects a lot of money from you. It steals it from you, as of course in California right now, power companies are going to be putting forward a proposal where you get charged for your electricity bill, not depending on how much electricity you use, but how much money you earn in a year. Yes, you heard that correctly. Households with annual incomes that are lower would pay only $20 a month. Meanwhile, incomes with higher net averages would pay something like $200 a month. All is fair in, of course, a communistic state that punishes people for their prosperity. And gee, I wonder why people are fleeing and leaving, as of course, New York City is another major urban democratic environment that also is heavily taxed, to the point where on average, a person earning a $100,000 annual salary is robbed $64,000 from it, being left with only $36,000 after taxes and cost of living. This, according to the latest Bloomberg report, as even if you earn $300,000, it feels like it is only $100,000 because of the high cost of living. Why? Because of the high taxes in that jurisdiction. Memphis, El Paso, Oklahoma City, if you have $100,000, it feels like you have the purchasing power of $120,000. In New York City, the opposite of that is true, and so is San Francisco. This, as the latest IRS data is highlighting, that the top 1% of earners in the United States pay nearly 50% of the country's income tax. This is specifically for the year 2020, highlighting 1% paying 42.3% of all of the income taxes in 2020. This, of course, being a 2-decade high, highlighting how actually the 1% pay the majority of taxes. That's still not enough for the Biden administration that is claiming U.S. billionaires pay only 3% tax, when that is absolutely not true at all. Specifically, the Biden administration was launching an attack against Elon Musk that actually paid 53% of his money on taxes, after he sold his Tesla stocks, paying 40% to the federal government of that, 13% to the state, paying more in income tax than anyone ever in the history of the earth. And this year, he's expected to also do the same. That 3% number is absolutely inaccurate, and it's pretty clear here that the Biden administration, that of course increased the number of IRS agents by tens of thousands, is specifically not just going to be going after the billionaires here, but everyone else. As next year, if you earn over $600 on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, you name it, you will receive a 1099 form that used to only be applicable to people earning over $20,000. Now, should Elon Musk pay more taxes? No. The poor people should pay less taxes and have the same access to loopholes as a lot of the rich people do that, of course, are able to offset their responsibilities to paying the government more money to destroy your life. Yeah, I think that makes sense. It doesn't. None of this makes sense. It's stupid. They print money out of thin air. They literally go on the computer. They're do. Money's there. Why in the world are you taxing us? Why in the world are you stealing money from us? Why in the world are you taking that money and just causing absolute misery on this world? Well, that's what government does. And if you agree with me, share this video with your friends and family members. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUnfiltered.com. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and this is why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.